Hey everybody, welcome back to BOJ-E-BIKES. I'm AJ and this is a long-term review of a Mokwheel Asphalt step over. That is my bike.
My name is Steve BOJ-E. Welcome to BOJ-E-BIKES. We specialize in e-bike sales by offering an abundance of brands, hundreds of models and accessories. In our service center, we offer routine mechanical maintenance, electrical troubleshooting, and even custom conversions. Rent by the hour right on the Fox River Trail. Reserve yours today. Most importantly, we're an education hub for the e-bike community. Whether you're just learning or on to next level stuff, we'll expand your e-bike knowledge. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and find us on the internet at BOJ-E-BIKES.
The bike has a 500 watt rear hub drive, 15 amp hour battery. It's got brake lights. It can be set at class 1, 2, 3, and anywhere in between. You can cap the speed limit down to 1 mile an hour if you want to, and I believe it'll go as high as 31 miles an hour. 180 millimeter brakes with Tektro hydraulics on it. Start with the real important stuff first. It's got a horn. The horn is not too courteous sounding in my mind, so I put a bell on. Let's put a bell on, it rings out, people get out of my way. They don't get out of my way, then they get the horn. Anyway, the horn works good on geese too. It's not too elevated and it's not too cheap, right? It comes in kind of at a price point at $14.99. That's what I bought it at a year and a half ago. That's what the price is now. The price does fluctuate a tiny bit. Black Friday sales, Mother's Day sales, and we saw a Father's Day sale as well last year. What Mokwheel does offer is a kit with 5 pieces or 10 pieces sometimes, and then that price will fluctuate some. And it's a nice kit. It comes with upgraded seats. It does come with a basket. They did sell an extra battery at Black Friday this past year, 2024. And I was a little jealous of that. I will admit the extra battery would be nice. It is a 15 amp hour battery and pedal assist 1. I will get 50 miles out of it. No joke. I'm over 200 pounds. And if you are lenient on your throttle, basically don't use it, and stay in pedal assist, maybe pedal assist 2 going up some hills, you will be able to get 50 miles out of a bike. Speed is also your enemy, kind of, so if you just take it slower, you can probably get even more mileage than that, but that's me averaging like a higher speed going around. It does have a torque sensor. I do appreciate the torque sensor. This is a 2023 model. The 24 model came with an upgraded torque sensor. It runs a little bit more smoothly. It also came with a third tail light in the back. Much brighter. With the panniers down, it covers up these brake lights somewhat, and so it's a little bit harder to see in the dark. So the third brake light, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful addition, as well as the torque sensor being more refined. Things I like about the bike, just about everything. I like the mileage. I've never run out of battery. If you go slow, you can extend those last couple of bars for several miles. That's the key to getting your distance, is going slow, once again. Another thing I like, this is just a little thing, the battery, it's on top. It's on top of the step-through version of this as well. With the flick of the key, it just comes right out the top. There's no getting down underneath it, hitting a lever and trying to pull it out. Not that big of a deal, but it is something to note, and I do appreciate it and do mention that a lot. Here, I'm going to show you the mileage here on my bike. It's got 2,318.3 miles on that. Is that perfectly accurate? I'm not 100% sure. I have not tested against my GPS. But either way, I've done a lot of miles on this bike in a year and a half. The performance of the bike. It performs great. It's a 500 watt hub drive motor, and it pushes me up hills, and pedal assist 2, pedal assist 3 is all I really need on this. I add throttle if I need help going up on the hill, and it gives me all the help I could want for. This wattage is plenty, I think, for most people. I do live in the Midwest. I'll make that caveat. I do not live by a mountain range or in foothills, so that might be a consideration for you. More wattage, maybe a different motor configuration if you do live in a more mountainous or hilly region. All right, everybody, I'm going to talk to you about the maintenance that I've had to do on the bike since I've owned it, a year and a half, 2,300 miles. So maintenance I do a fair amount is clean and lubricate my chain. Crushed gravel, it's little tiny rocks getting in your chain. If you ride in that stuff, you're going to want to clean your chain a little bit more often. Keeping it clean is going to keep it alive for a long time. It's going to keep your shifter alive for a long, your derailleur, I mean to say, alive for much longer if you keep it clean and lubricated. That's basic general maintenance that I've done. I brought it in here to the bike shop for a checkover service where they really didn't do much to it besides, again, clean and lubricate it. They trued the wheels. And that's all I can think of. Brakes were running fine. The shifter was out of adjustment, so they adjusted the shifter a bit. Other maintenance that I've done, I got a flat tire on the road. That was about 1,200 miles. And, well, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but I added a Tannis armor to the back. A flat tire in the rear is a bit of a pain in the butt. You got your motor back there, it's wired in. Got zip ties holding the wire down. So it's a couple of things that you got to carry with you. When you change out your tire, I would definitely recommend carrying zip ties and the stuff to patch or to replace the tube. It was a little tiny thorn, little tiny piece of wood, sharp piece of wood, little tiny thorn. And it made me run straight home. I was able to pump up my tire. I did not have to change it on the path. When I got home, I pulled it out and I decided it was time. I'll put Tannis armor in there. That was at 1,200 miles. I have not had a problem with the front tire at all. I have not had a flat. I haven't done anything to it. When I do get a flat, I probably will put Tannis in there again. Flats do come. And don't think it's not going to happen to you, because it will. Other maintenance I've had to do, these little clips that hold these things on, if you over tighten them like I did, you can break them. They're not meant to be tightened down. In fact, we generally leave these on the looser side so you can pivot it in the sun if it's reflecting right in your face or if you can't see the screen. What else? Maintenance. Again, truing the wheels, shifting adjustment, one flat tire. That's been about it. It's been flawless overall. You can see I got fishing gear on the back. I like to go fishing on my bike. It's not the only thing I do, but it's often when I'm by myself, I'll go for a bike ride and I end up going fishing. This bike takes me through the woods. It takes me down dirt paths. It takes me through grass. It performs very well. It does come with a street orientated tire, so if you do hit mud or wet leaves, the tires are almost useless. They slip all over the place and do not perform well. But other than that, the 27.5-inch tire size rolls over potholes and rocks and things very well. I like the height of the bike. It just feels comfortable for me, even on trail riding. It is reminiscent of a hardtail mountain bike somewhat in its posture, in its stance, and its ability to roll over things. I'm not bunny hopping over logs. I'm not doing any of that on here. I have jumped it off of some small roots and off of curbs and things like that. And the bike does have a little bit of fun, but let's face it, it's not exactly built for that. Although I have pushed it. I've pushed it and went over jumps and things like that. It's not built for that, though. I don't recommend it. And if you're going to do that, I would definitely get the step over. It's just a stiffer triangle here. For me, it fits me very well, and I do not, a year and a half later, do not have any reason to replace this. I don't have any reason to think about a different bike for the same category of what I use this for. 50 miles of range has always been plenty for me for a day trip. And there's always a charger you can bring along with you, and you can charge this up pretty quickly at an outlet while you're having a cup of coffee or something like that. You can add a few bars to your charge. I don't want to say this is the bike for you, but it's a good bike. A lot of manufacturers make similar bikes to this, and this bike isn't a super high-powered bike, and it's not a super big battery bike. However, I think it's a bike that runs right down the middle, which is what most of our customers are looking for. They're not looking for high-powered. They're not looking for low-powered. They're not looking for flash or speed or whatever, but 30 miles an hour is fast on a bike. It feels fast. A 500-watt motor goes 30 miles an hour, so those of you looking to go faster than that, you're looking outside of the bike range. It does everything legally. It does everything for its settings. I guess that's one more thing I could say is the ease of the settings. I'm going to turn the bike on real quick. What I really enjoy about this bike is that you can just hold down 3 buttons here and boom, you're in the speed limit, you're in the power assisted gears, you can mess with your voltage, you don't want to do that, but the riding modes will let you change your class. The intensity setting will make the bike snappier or tone it down. And when this is all the way up in the intensity setting, the bike is peppy, it is quick, it's sharp. 500 watts is very usable, and performs pretty well. Some things I would improve on the bike myself. I am going to put a 52 chain ring on here. It doesn't really pedal past 23, 24 miles an hour. If you set it that way, you can throttle past that, but there's where your ghost pedaling starts to appear. I'd like to be able to pedal up to 28 miles an hour. Again, I mentioned the plastic bits on there before. That is me over tightening them. However, it's something that happens a lot. Mokwheel actually, with all their bikes I see, they send backup parts for this. So you get the screw, you get the backing plate for this piece here, and maybe a couple other pieces for replacement. So Mokwheel has tried to address the issue, I'll say that. I would say the biggest con for me is that I started bicycling again. I started a new hobby. I started going off-road with this bike. And I'll point out again, this is the Mokwheel Asphalt. It is a road-orientated bike. It's not necessarily meant for off-road, but it does do some off-road. Anyway, so it brought me back to mountain biking, and I went ahead and bought another bike. So I ended up buying more bikes. So if you think you want a mountain bike, this might not be the bike for you. But if you want a bike that does almost everything very well, including dirt trails, as long as they're flat and not, have 2-foot drops on them. Well, everybody, that's my Mokwheel Asphalt step over. Thank you guys for letting me talk about my bike. I do appreciate your time. I like my bike. It's done everything I've needed it to do and then some. The choice is yours. We got a ton of bikes to look at, tons of different bikes, and we all ride different bikes here at BOJ-E-BIKES here in Batavia. But that's just what I'm riding. So any questions, leave them down in the comment section. We'll try to answer anything I didn't cover or if any specifics. But Mokwheel Asphalt, it's a decent bike, $14.99. Love it. Thanks, guys.